Hello everyone. Welcome to today's stream. Quite excited for this one. I'm excited for every stream I do. But I'm excited for this one because we are going to be making like a gift and card log for like those if I always struggle to remember what I'm going to get people and how far I've gotten with it, whether I've ordered it or not, and that type of thing. So we're going to kind of make a little cute log to track that, and the same thing with cards so you can kind of see who you're sending cards to and where you are in that process. It's helped me making these every year, so we're going to make one on stream today. Before we get started, just a couple reminders. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, please go ahead and do that. I have daily bullet journaling content and reading journal content, and I am very excited for December. I got a lot of things planned, a lot of stuff to show, a lot of Christmas content, and 2023 setup and planner content as well. So be prepared for that. Also, Merry Christmas to you, Sita Marie. Thank you so much. And then also you can follow, if you subscribe to me on YouTube, you can see all my previous streams. They're all right there, and both on Insta and YouTube, I am L.I.L Journaling. So, and then next Saturday, when we do our normal stream at 2 p.m., I'll be working on my 2023 goals planner. So kind of my yearly stuff and collections and things. So that's next stream. But today we're doing some Christmas things. Most of the streams this month are Christmassy. And if you head over to my Instagram, I should have a story that kind of has a list of, I'll be posting it every once in a while, but it's of all the streams I'm doing in December and what we're doing for them. So that's that. Okay. First things first though, it was my birthday 2 weeks ago on the 22nd of November, and I still got some things, so I kind of want to show them off in a continuation of a haul. So, first things first, my best friend sent me this book, which is The Missing of Claire de Lune by Christelle Debose. I'm really bad at this. I know it's a French name. This is a French book translated to English. It is the second book in the Mirror Visitor series. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that she got it for me. If you haven't read the Mirror Visitor series, I highly recommend it to you because it is so good. It is arranged marriage, kind of enemies to lovers, and it's just, the whole series is a work of art, and I'm happy to have the second book because I am definitely going to go in and annotate this for every time the couple is together and stuff. And then I also got this book from another friend of mine. It is called The Rose Society. She said it's really good. Oh, yes, I'm so glad. Sid, I'm so happy that you're halfway through book one. It's so good. I really hope you like it. I love it so much. Okay. The Mirror Visitor series is huge, but it's really easy to get through because it's just, you gotta keep going. You gotta know. Anyway, so this is another book I got. It's called The Rose Society by Marie Lu. I haven't read by this author, but I also have the first book in another series of this author is called Legend. I've read either, but I've heard they're both good. They're just kind of sitting on my shelves to one day be read. Hopefully I'll read them soon, and that type of thing. Next, for my birthday, my husband and I went to paint pottery. So I'm going to show you guys that pottery. So first things first, we have this guy. Here, we're gonna go right here. Look at this guy. This is my husband's frog. He is so cute. He's a cute little tree frog. I love him so much. He hangs out on our shelves, and he's adorable, and I really like how his frog turned out. And then what I made was this really cute, we're going to switch back over here. I made this, which is a kind of sugar pot. It's filled with hot chocolate right now, because So it's got a very mushroomy design. I based it off of my December theme. So if you can kind of see how it has the splotches and the mushrooms that match my December spread. So very, very cute. We haven't named the frog yet. I will ask my husband for a frog name. If you guys have frog name suggestions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. And yeah, he does kind of got little shoes. That's just his feet. I know he's like a real type of tree frog that this is based off of. And he has like white toesies, so. But yeah, he's really cute. And I'm so proud of my husband. He did such a good job. Steve. Steve is a suggested name. Okay. Good suggestions. Okay. And then, final little thing for this end of my birthday haul. I did get some goodies. So, we already seen this. This is, my best friend also sent me some Art dual brush markers. So they're like this. Oh, Frogger. Those are cute names. And so these are the markers I got. They're very paint, like some of them are more like paint-like than others. And I found with these markers, do I have one with me? I do. So here's one. And they're very much like the Tombos or the King Arts that I use. They got the nice brush tip. It's a little more runny on the tip though, like the paintbrush side. But then instead of the normal like marker nib that they do on the dual tip, like, okay, here's a comparison. Here's the King Art. It's got a thicker nib, more like a marker, and then this one's more like a fine pen nib. And I kind of like this better because when I'm making my spreads, kind of I need both the marker and a color, like the pen, to match for like when I'm writing stuff in. So I really like that this kind of provides both of that. So I got that, and then I also got a bunch of very thin and cute washi tapes from my best friend. She sent them to me, and they're really cute, and I'm excited to use them. I'm not the best at using the thinner ones, but I'm still like super excited to get into it and use them more and find ways to use them. I got some ideas for a washi tape Christmas tree. Why am I putting this away? We need it. Now, let's get into today's, what's it called? Today's activities. Golly gee. So, I posted on my, what did my mom give me? Oh, if you were at my last stream, I talked about my little photo printer that my mom got me. Yep. Okay. For today's stream, I wanted to do a gift log and a card log, and I kind of put a poll up on my Instagram, and it was, you can't really see it actually. Can you? No. Either way, the bottom one won, which is the card log. And I'm very excited to do this one. I'm so excited. And I have great ideas for it. So, this notebook, by the way, is just a Lectrum 1917. I know I'm not saying that right, but you guys probably know which planner I'm talking about, the brand, if you look it up. Wow, something is in my eye. Okay. But, yeah. So that's what I'm using. This was going to be more of like a teacher bullet journal that I was going to use, like a resource, but now I'm just kind of turning it into like swatches and fun ideas one. So, let's do this. Card log. I'm very excited for this one. So, we got our scissors, we got our ruler, and the theme for the card log, both the card and gift log will have different themes, but this one is going to be kind of Sugar Plum Fairy theme. So I got these cute sparkly washi tapes to use. And then I have my matching King Art dual tip brush pens that are kind of in the same color palette. A pencil, because we always need one. I have some stencils just for lettering because I want to make the title look good. And then I have some of these stickers. This one I got from Daiso, and they're just kind of some lovely dots. And then these are both from Happy Planner sticker packs, and I need the dots. That's what we're using. We're using some dots today. And then, most importantly, if I can gather these, we'll just grab one or a couple, put them in my hand. But I took some paper and I cut it up to be little tiny cards, and we're gonna stick them in using glue into our little planner to kind of make this log. And these little cards with my Lectrum 1917 notebook, they are 3 boxes tall, and then technically 4 boxes long, 4 boxes across the top, and then it's like folded in half, so it's 2x3 essentially. So that's our tiny card. I'll open it. So yeah, and I just what I did is I took a long piece of paper, I measured it against the boxes on the page, and I just kind of used my pencil to draw the lines, and then I cut it that way and folded them to make our itty bitty cards. So I have a whole pile, like here's my little pile of cards right here in the corner. So let's do this. Okay. So we're going to start with our lovely title. And we're going to make this, we're just going to call this Christmas cards. Okay. And we are going to just kind of do what I usually do with titles, and I'm just going to switch between the 3 markers as I make it. Do I have an H? Yes, I do. Unfortunately, golly gee, because I've used these stencils with all these colors that they kind of rub off on each other, but that's fine. Now this is great, that the next 3 letters I want to do are in a row. If you guys like my methods of opening markers and closing them. And by the way, as I'm making this Christmas card spread, I am going to be doing a stream where I am decorating Christmas cards and making them look cute and giving you guys ideas if you want to make your own. So come hang out for that. It's going to be adorable. It's going to be great. And because I fear how much space I have left here, I am going to just start on the next line down. And kind of work my way backwards through cards just so I can make sure that I have enough room. Hopefully I will spell this right. So far, so good. I do have a C. It's in October. Okay. So, Christmas cards. How cute. And then, so what I'm going to do here is, because I do kind of want to fill in this space, because that's how I work. That's how my brain is. So I'm going to make a couple strips of each color. They're kind of hanging off the table. So, but I'm going to make a strip of each color. And then what I'm going to do with each of these is I'm just going to like cut it down the middle. Which is very difficult. If you are following along and doing this as well, please watch your fingers. And stay safe there. Be safe. And some washi tape wants to stick to my scissors better than others. Really weird, but okay. So now that I got these lovely strips, essentially is I'm just going to take some, and I probably will do this throughout the whole thing, is I'm just going to lay a little bit down, then a little bit of another color. Nope, going with this one, smaller. But yeah, just to give it some, make it look cute. Just some washi tape layering. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, title's done. Title's adorable. Okay. Now, essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of go one box down from the lowest item at the top. That's kind of my go-to thing, is when I start putting stuff beneath the title, I always just leave a box of space, because it feels like, make sure the items are separate and my brain can focus on what I need to. So we're gonna put this bad boy like right there. And yes, so we're gonna make our first one, and he's also gonna be one over from the side, also to kind of separate it, give it the space it needs, a nice invisible border type thingy. And we're gonna take our glue. Make sure you are gluing the side of the card you want to glue. So I don't usually, so I want my cards to open like this, so I'm going to glue the other side. So be careful with your gluing. Make sure you're doing the correct side of your thing. And the great thing with like smaller ones is you can just like slide it across the top of the glue and pop that bad boy in there. I'm gonna hold him down just so he's safe. Keep him good, cozy, safe. Make sure he's secure. And we're going to kind of do this across the whole page. But we're not going to do it like just a bunch of little cards and that type of thing. We want them to, this spread is still supposed to have a purpose. It's really cute, but it's also going to have a purpose and a way for you to use it. And that main purpose is so you can catalog who you're sending cards to, whether or not you need to put a picture in it, and like who, you can write down their address if you want in here, and that type of thing, just as like maybe you use the same spread next year when you're deciding who to send cards to, that type of thing. So this is going to be both a functional spread and like a cute one. So now that this bad boy is stuck, what we do want is we want this little guy to be decorated. Now, there's a couple ways you could decorate this cute little guy. One thing you could do is you could give a sketch or basic design of a card that you do want to make. So, if you want to, we're going to take a sticker from here. And so this is a cute little dot. It looks like it has a little, like, it has a star on it, but also kind of looks like a wreath of sorts. So, I can just pop that on there, and then I can know that, like, I want to send this card to so-and-so, and I want it to have a wreath design. Also, we need to make the cards look cute, because, duh, they gotta be cute. So, this Christmas can that I'm pulling stuff out of will come in with the ladder spread. So, we got our cute little card. If you want, you could open it up and write in who you want to send it to. So I'm going to send this little card to my dad. So I put dad inside so I know who I'm sending it to. And then, the sticker fell off. No. Okay, it's back on. We're good. And then underneath it, I'm not going to put his address or anything. We're not doing that because that would be bad. Don't share addresses on the internet. So the name's inside. I'm going to put a little box for photo, like a little check box, so I do want to send my dad a photo of my husband and I, so I'm going to put a little check. If I didn't, I would have put an X. And then pretend we're going to say like, oh yeah, I totally put the address down. And then if I did have any notes, I could also put it here. So we'll just put address, notes, sent. Now, this is just like a cute little like to-do list, just so you can make sure that like you got everything you need for this card and anything else you want to say. Another thing is you could also wait to decorate the card until you've sent it. So once you're like, okay, I have sent this card to my dad, now I'll put the little wreath sticker on it and it'll be cute and adorable. So that's kind of how today's spread is going to go. And I'm just going to keep making these cute little bad boys. If you guys got any card decoration ideas that you want to see me do when I do my card decorating stream, go ahead and pop them down in the chat. I would love to know them and like do that type of thing. Maybe I'll do like a cute frog one on behalf of my husband and that type of thing, because you guys seem to like the frog. The frog is popular. I know and then I'm also going to make sure that between this and the next card, so I'm going to leave like about 2 boxes of space between like where I did the writing, where the writing ended, and where my next card starts. Just so there's plenty of room for each card and what they need. And then this is also a great idea, I guess, if you're not doing Christmas cards, but you do have, what's it called? Pen pals and that type of thing. So you could say this is for my pen pal. And then, yeah, and you could do the same type of things. Pen pal does not need my photo. They already know it, because that's what the pen pal Let's see. And then I haven't sent it yet. This is all hypothetical. And I'm going to use some of these cute dot stickers also. This one's going to have a bigger dot. And I'm so glad it fits on the card. They're so small. Here. This guy, this little frog guy, he wants to hang out. So he's going to hang out on stream with us. Because he's a good boy. I hope my husband's okay with this. I've stolen his child. And one thing I will try to do with this whole spread is under each card, I guess I'll have like different things you could write underneath it, because I know some people have different focuses when they're sending cards and that type of thing. So this top one, these are the main items you want underneath it. Great for sending to Christmas cards and pen pals. Okay, let's chat, guys. Let's talk about what I've been reading this week, because I've been in a major kind of reading slump of sorts. Haven't really been in the mood to read, and I've kind of had to force myself to read. And the main way I force myself to read is like an hour or so. In the hour before I go to work, I'm like, okay, we'll stop here. We'll stop doing all the crazy activities that I've been doing, and we are going to spend some time reading. So usually I will just read a chapter just to like make progress in a book, but then like not necessarily like force myself to read for too long, because if I make that small amount of progress, eventually I'll get more into reading and get back into the book and that type of thing. So that's kind of my way of doing things when I am in a reading slump. And so I started off this week with reading L.I.L, which I forget who it's by, but it's kind of a newer release and that type of thing. And I was like, okay, this kind of sounds interesting. A booktuber I watched recommended it, so I was like, let's do this. So I decided, okay, let's watch it, let's do it, let's get some reading in. And I don't know why. Okay, I kind of know why. I was very quick to DNF that book. I was like halfway through chapter 2, and I was like, I am putting this down. And I guess there's probably a couple reasons behind why I did this, but the main reason I did this is okay. One thing about books is sometimes when you're reading it, a nice like quirky thing the main character can do is they'll tell you like a paragraph of information, and then they'll have like a one-liner single sentence paragraph right after that kind of not necessarily contradicts, but it's more of like a but this is what really happened type of thing, or like this is the truth. So it's like, oh, this happened, like my family no, I'm trying to think of a good example. Oh, what's a good example? I don't know, but it's just like a cheeky one-liner afterwards that doesn't contradict, but it's just kind of like, no, here's the truth. Like, it's them being sarcastic. And usually it's like really good in books. It's a great way to kind of show the mindset of your character and that type of thing. But this happened like 20 times in the first chapter, and I was like, why is that happening so much? Like, why does this need to keep happening? And that type of thing. And so I just really didn't like that, so about it. So, and then this book also just like, it had so much to talk about, so much world to build, but it wasn't really done in an order that was easy to understand. Like, I understand, like, there's a lot that goes into world building. I kind of like writing myself, so I know a little bit. I'm not the best at world building, I will say that, but I have a general idea of how to world build. And kind of like, you need to, when it comes to telling your reader something, you need to start, it's like a puzzle. You need to give them the outer edges of the puzzle, and then like give them a couple pieces here and there, but they will find the rest of the pieces. Like, part of what the reader does is finding some extra pieces and saying like, you tell them a little bit about the world and they're like, okay, I can assume this now, and I can gather this from what you've said so far. And that type of thing. But this, the way L.I.L kind of started for me, and it may just be because I didn't get too far in it, but there were so many like times where she just kind of skipped over information. I was like, okay, I'm ready for the next edge piece. And she's like, no, I'm not telling you it. I'm like, what? And I'm like, here's a middle piece. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? And it kind of got really annoying. And then sometimes she'd be like, here's one piece, but actually it's going to be more like this. And I mean, that kind of works as like an unreliable narrator. But if you're trying to tell me about the world that I just walked into, and you're supposed to be a character who knows about this world, even if you were a little sheltered, how come you can't tell me a thing about it? Like, one of the main things is like, the main character was prepared her whole life for this event. Because like, the main thing is, all the rulers of the world come together in a battle arena, and if you kill another ruler, you get your curse broken. And every ruler has a different curse. And so, like, she's prepared her whole life for this. And yet they couldn't... Oh, I gotta write stuff down. They couldn't seem to, like... There's just, like, information I think the main character should know, but she wasn't giving it to me. And that really bothered me. Because I'm like, I should have this information. It's not like, oh, I need to know every little secret and that type of thing. It's more of like, okay, you should know the curses all the other kingdoms, and we just met all the other kingdom rulers, and you haven't told me about a single one of their curses, and that type of thing. So I was a little upset with like some missing information. And then the third thing that kind of bothered me is like, if you are reading a sentence that has, so you introduce a character, you usually kind of give their title, so it's like your brother, comma, Logan, comma, and then you continue on with the sentence. Like, you continue on with the information you were revealing about them and stuff. And so, with this book, it did kind of do that, because there's the kingdom name, and then there's their personal name. And it's like the author couldn't make up her mind of what she was going to call people. And it really bothered me, because in one paragraph alone, like, she did this multiple times, but there's like one specific paragraph where in the first sentence she calls these two guy rulers by their first name, and in the second sentence she calls them by their last name. And I'm like, choose one, please. I can't keep switching back and forth, because like, as a reader, it's already hard enough to keep up with all the new characters and stuff, and so usually you just need like one simple name for them to go by that you just follow. You can associate them with that kingdom, like sometimes they're in the last name to remind them, oh yeah, they're a part of this kingdom. But the main thing is like give them that one name that the reader can follow them by. And Light Lark didn't do that, and it really bothered me. So that's kind of like the third reason I stopped reading it. Maybe one day I'll go back and pick it up, but it is not going to be this month. Even though it was like one of the first books on my TBR. It's fine. And then, also, by the way, with this real quick. So I'm putting just little strips of washi tape to decorate the cover, so that's another way you could do it. Maybe you have washi tape that correlates to certain, like if you pre-buy your Christmas cards and you're just like, I want to send the pink one to this one and the blue one to that one. That's another good way to do it. Or you can take a card and just coat it all in washi tape. That's a really easy way to decorate things because most washi tapes have patterns. So, and then underneath it, this is just a more simplified version. If you don't want to like write down people's addresses and stuff, you just kind of put their name and a box to say whether or not you sent the card. And this one may be more pen pal friendly and that type of thing. You could also use it more for, say, most of your family's in town, or like the people you want to give cards to are in town and you just want to hand deliver it. This is a good way where you can be like, write the name and if you've delivered it or not. And another thing with these cute little card covers, it's a great way to like, because sometimes my dad has had this issue and he's lamented to me about it, where he doesn't remember who he wrote the card to, but he's already sealed the envelope, so he kind of hates having to like reopen it, waste a whole envelope, that type of thing. So this can be a good way to kind of color code or like match the card to the person. So say if you have blue envelopes and you're giving them out to people and you're like, okay, I know that's Nathaniel had a blue envelope, so that's how I know I already put his card in this one and that type of thing, and Jessica had a red one. So that's a good way to kind of help keep your card straight and that type of thing. You can kind of base the design on the envelope. Okay. Next, so I'm going to pull out my little sketchbook here. This is my messy sketchbook. It has all my design notes in it. But we're going to do another decoration for these little cards, and that's just going to be coloring it all the way. So, and that's why I have the sketchbook out, because if I'm coloring small things, I need a good backdrop, that type of thing. I need a backdrop just in case I spill over or that type of thing. So, pulling this bad boy out. And you guys can't really, I don't think you can read my thing, but it's just, this is just my practice. This is my, what's the word? Oh, here. This just kind of has my basic sketch ideas and stuff for today's spreads so that I remember to do them. Okay. Where's my lid? Okay. Here we go. And so this little row of cards just has name, whether or not you decorated it, or notes on how you want to decorate it, and whether or not it's sent. So that's just kind of the purpose of this little row of cards. So you guys can, I want to give you guys options. Because I know one thing, this just may be me and my stupidity sometimes, is that I will like go to make a chart of things and I have to take like 10 whole minutes to figure out like, what am I supposed to like put on this chart, because I want it to like track this or focus on this or be a type of list, but I don't know exactly what the titles or things I should be making sure to note on this list are. So that's why I'm giving you guys options. So like depending on your needs and that type of thing, you can kind of figure out which style you need. Okay, while we're making this lovely row of cards, I'm also going to talk about another book I've started. It's Magonia. I got it from a friend like a while back, but I think it was once an Owl Crate book, way back when. But it's been sitting on my shelf for a while now, and so I was like, okay, let's read it. It kind of looks interesting. The premise is, this girl's been like sick with a lung disease her whole life, and this is all said in the synopsis, so it's kind of, she's sick with this like kind of lung disease her whole life. Doctors don't even know what it is. They're like baffled by it. She has her own disease named after herself, and she's trying to figure it out, and then suddenly she finds out that she's like not of this world, and she belongs to like this specific kingdom where they breathe differently and that type of thing. And when she kind of finds this out, she's taken away from her best friend, and they're both like awkwardly in love with each other, but also not, because they're like best friends, you know, that type of thing. So I haven't gone super far in it, but I have been enjoying it. Like, I like the character. It was very easy to like get to know the character, especially in the first chapter, because for a good, like, the first chapter, it was very much like, you're not really anywhere, you're just kind of like listening to her chat and explain things, which I think is okay. It's very interesting for first chapter, because most of the time you're just like set in a place and you've got to just figure out everything that's going on as you go. But she's just like, nope, I'm going to sit you down, I'm going to tell you everything, and then we're going to get started. And I kind of like that. It wasn't like, it didn't feel like just, it didn't feel out of place. It felt very in character, and it was a great way for me to get to know her character and how she thinks and acts and functions and that type of thing. And of course, like, as the story continues and we're in a setting and we have other characters, you do kind of learn things here and there. She's a great storyteller because, she's a great storyteller and that type of thing. She tells you things. Although, I'm very curious about her reliability as a narrator, because there are some times where she like says like, oh, we don't think or talk about that, we avoid it and we talk about it in funny ways. So I'm like, are there things I'm missing? Are there things that I think this character should be like, are there things this character's telling me and they mean something else? And so yeah, I've been interested and kind of a little questioning with her as a narrator, but I'll take what she gives me for now. Because she's also very blunt, and I'm very truth-telling. Do you have an Instagram page where you sell this? I don't sell this type of thing, but I do post on Instagram. I can pop a link in the chat for you guys if you want. If I can find it, give me one sec. But yeah, I don't necessarily sell this type of stuff. I mean, I'd be interested in doing it one day, but today is not that day. But if you guys are interested in seeing other things I create and spreads, you can go check it out on my Instagram. Where did I put my pen? I put it right here. Okay, we're good. So like I said, for this row of cards, I have the name, whether or not you've like decorated it or made the card if that's your cup of tea, and then whether or not you've sent it. So you can just kind of keep track that way. Okay. I'm losing tiny cards. Okay. And I don't know if I made enough cards now. So we'll kind of see where we end up going. Okay. So I'm just going to start popping down cards. Thank you for following me on Instagram. I really appreciate it. I hope I can give you some great bullet journaling ideas there. Okay. Tiny little cards. These are so fun. It took forever to make these little cards. Well, not forever, but it was mildly annoying to make them because they just had to get it just right. Okay, cute little row of cards. These ones are just going to have a mix of the above designs. One of my favorite things. Okay, so as the year has begun to come to a close, we're in the last month of it. I'm preparing for 2023, and I'm making like the journaling spreads and stuff for that. I have quite enjoyed, because I've been making a lot of for 2023, I've had to kind of binge use stationery and stuff and use it up, and I have loved every time that I've like finished a roll of washi tape or used up a marker completely and that type of thing. It's been my favorite, and I've also enjoyed that because my 2022 yearly goal setup, it had a very specific sticker book that I was using for it, and I was finally able to, like, as I was finishing out my 2022 pages, I was able to like use up a bunch of stickers in this book. And it was so great to just feel accomplished of like saying, oh yes, I've completed this, I've used this whole up, and I've used my stationery to the full. So I've really liked that. Okay. Okay. So with, by the way, with this roll of little cards, I'm putting name, the day you sent it, and the day it arrived. And so this way, you can kind of track how long it takes for certain things to get sent to your loved ones. So like if you commonly send cards to a pen pal or you send things to your friend or family member, you can kind of see the average length it takes to send it, so that in the future you can be like, okay, I need to send this earlier, or if I want this to arrive in time for their birthday, I need to send it like later or whatever. Or I can have more leeway room for when I send it. So I just put random dates in the middle, and then the bottom row would be when you write, oh, it arrived on this day. Okay. we're going to do just one more row of cards, and then we're going to switch to the gift log. And we're only going to do one more row of cards because I only have a row of cards left. And we're going to use up the washi tape in this row. For my, going back to what I was talking about, my 2023, I ordered like a sticker pack specifically for 2023 yearly setup, so I would have like a whole sticker pack to use throughout the year and that type of thing, and I could make it like a cohesive theme. And so I thought it was going to arrive December 1st, and I was like so ready to spend the first like just binging it, getting a lot of it done and that type of thing. But then it didn't, and I got really stressed, and I was like, no, I need to get it done. But I was fine. It arrived like the second, I think. Yeah, it arrived yesterday. So yesterday was when I kind of started binge working on my 2023 setup. And I am out of tiny little cards, so this row is going to be uneven, but that's fine. So, I've been working on my 2023 setup, and like I'm going to be going on vacation for the holidays like most people do, and with it I realized that I need to get a lot of if I need stuff ready either to post by the end of this month or to kind of be prepared for 2023, so like by January 1st I do need to have my planner ready for that and that type of thing. And so I've been very heavily binge bullet journaling. And trying to get things done. I had my January 2023 setup like already done, reading journal and like the monthly threads, just because I was like, oh, I need to get this done now, and it's better to get it out of the way so I can work on other projects later. So that has been something I've been doing lately. And it's been fun because I just it's the end of the day and I'm just spending the evenings just kind of like relaxing and bullet journaling and putting on like, I watch Jashi Corinne's like old bullet journaling streams. I save them for long-term bullet journaling setups and that type of thing. And so I've really enjoyed that and kind of spending the evenings doing that. Okay, but this last little row, we have the name for who it's for on the inside, so the card, who the card's for. And then like I put if there's a gift with it, and then whether or not you've sent it or given it yet. So those are just some ways you can kind of track your Christmas cards, see, kind of practice the design or match it to something specific. But I really like this spread. I think it's really cute. I'll be posting like a picture of it on my story tomorrow, and then eventually I'll do like a whole Christmas card themed post and that type of thing when I make all my cards, but this is a good way to track your Christmas cards. But it is time to switch gears and that type of thing. So, we don't need the glue anymore. We still need the pencil. Here's our frog. If you just joined stream, if you have any frog name ideas for this guy, pop them in the chat. We're going to keep the stencils and we're going to keep the scissors. But on this side of the page, we are going to do a gift log, and it's going to have a completely different theme because I want to give you guys plenty of Christmas theme ideas. So if you are making cards, you can kind of be like, okay, this sugar plum theme looks cute because, you know, this is from the Nutcracker. Or I know when I was decorating for Christmas, my first Christmas with my spouse last year, I was like, I need to figure out our like Christmas theme palette, and so ours is very green and white and snowy, so with the nice forest green type thingy. So that's going to be kind of the thing. That's my theme in the house, so I want to give you guys different Christmas themes so you can kind of use them as you need to. So this theme comes, so I got this really cute, my friend would drink lots of hot chocolate and she'd give me all the tins because they're perfect for holding markers and stuff. So save your hot chocolate tins, especially if they're cute like this one. It's like really Christmassy. So I have my markers in here. It's just a bunch of greens and reds and then some grays, which you'll know why we're using that in a little bit. And then I also have this washi tape, which is kind of, it's very boxy, and it just has like a pink, a red, and 2 shades of green, and it just kind of repeats that pattern. And I really like using this washi tape, especially during the Christmas season, because these are like the perfect sizes to make like, they're little gift boxes. And so that's what we're doing for this gift log. Now this one's just kind of more to track gifts you're giving to people. If you really wanted to, you could turn both of these spreads that we're making into a gifts or like cards I've received. So you can kind of say like, oh, I received a card from so-and-so and I need to send one back. So that's the kind of way you can double use these spreads for whatever purpose you need to. I need water. Okay. Now this one is going to have a Polar Express theme. If you remember in the movie, when they're at the North Pole and they're going to get all the presents are on a conveyor belt and they're just kind of going on the conveyor belt. So we're going to draw a little conveyor belt and put a bunch of presents on it, and that's going to be our gift log. So let's get started. I'm going to call this gift list because there's list right here, and it's just going to make things a whole lot easier. And I have a lot of different shades of reds and greens just so I can like decide how I want to use them in this spread. Also, I want to put a dot right here because I like filling space. We're going to do that real fast. Some dots. And we're going to use the rest of the washi tape I have because I don't want it to go to waste actually. Okay, adorable. Also, this washi tape I got at Daiso, and it's got this like very stringy, tinsely look, which I really like and I'm excited to use for more Christmas spreads. Okay, now we're actually switching gears to this one now. Actually, I'm gonna go with a darker green. More vibrant, I guess. And our little frog matches. We'll match the spread a bit because he's red. So we're gonna cut off some boxes. Since my husband is up, it is time. So I showed this little guy off stream, husband, and they wanted a name for him. They suggested Steve and Frogger. Do you have a name idea? No, he does not. Okay. We'll get him a name. I'll post like a poll on Instagram if that's okay. Or something. And we'll give him a really cute name. Okay. Now, I am really bad at drawing bows, so don't come at me for my terrible bow art. But I'm going to give these two gifts a bow. And it's not going to be too fancy. It's just going to be a dot in the middle and then two like weird bow-shaped boys to give these little bows. Name the frog Ladybug. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's really cute. I love all these suggestions. Okay, we got cute little bows on our presents. Okay, now let's get into how we're doing this. Also, there's space right here, and I have a desire to fill it, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go like this. 2 red and green blobs, because that always works. And I don't have thinner washi tape for this. Okay. So I want to try and like get use out of all my reds and greens that I pulled out, so we're gonna try and like go through all of them. Okay. So first things first though, we do need to kind of do some measurements on this page. I want to make sure there's enough room for all the lovely boxes of presents we're gonna make, and also for the conveyor belt they're on. And it's just going to kind of be a sideways view of that. So we're going to kind of leave 5 spaces for the present, 1 for the conveyor belt, and then a space in between. So So it looks like we're gonna fit 5 rows of gifts. We'll see how many gifts we get on a conveyor belt, but we'll go at it one step at a time. So I have these are Tombow dual tip brush pens. I got the N45 and N25. These are my first sets of Tombow, so I'm excited to put them to use, and we're gonna use these 2 colors to kind of make the conveyor belt first. So I'm going to start with this N25 to kind of, it's going to be like the flat part of the conveyor belt, so So I kind of went one box in on either side with drawing this, and then I'm gonna kind of just curve it here at the ends. So straight lines and then curves on either ends. Get rid of my pencil rate marks on this top row. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our lighter N45 gray and a bunch of little like wheels every other box. Yeah. To kind of put the conveyor belt in motion. Okay. So now it kind of looks like a conveyor belt can move. Sideways conveyor belt. Very simple, because that's what we're going for. And now I'm going to take some reds and greens, and we're going to start with this my King Arts. So these are the ones we're using. They don't have names, or at least these ones don't have names or numbers on them, so I don't know which colors we're using exactly, but they're just some reds and greens that I have. And we're just going to make like any shape of boxes we want and that type of thing. But some of them will have bows, some of them will not. And then we'll fill these bad boys in. Okay. These two will stay over here so I can remember to use them. You kind of want these boxes to be big, and I will explain why in a second. I'm going to add one. Can I fit it? No. Okay, we don't have room for another box on this one. That's fine. And I'm only going to add a bow on this bad boy. Don't feel the need to add a bow on all of them. You totally can if you want. Especially if you're really good at drawing bows. I am not, obviously. Okay, so this is kind of where the black pen comes in, and especially you will need a black one. You can use like a dark red or green. I don't know how well it will show up on these boxes, because we're going to write inside them. So essentially, we're going to pretend this first box so this is a gift from my mom. I will not put the actual gift on here because sometimes she watches my streams. But we're going to say the next line will be kind of like what the gift is that you can write down. And then you can also put whether it has been delivered and the address. Sometimes I have especially if you're going somewhere else for the holidays. You kind of need to know, or you're sending a gift, like if I want to give a gift to my mom, I'm going to send it to my little brother and have him wrap it for my mom and that type of thing. So you kind of need to it's a good way to kind of keep track of where you're sending these gifts, especially if you're traveling or you're like, oh, I'm going to visit family. All the gifts I want are going to be sent there under my name so they know not to touch them. And then once I'm there, I can wrap them and stuff. So I think it's very good to just kind of keep track of the addresses you're sending the gifts to for those situations. I know with my husband and I and my family members, we've actually accidentally sent a gift for ourselves to his mom or to the wrong person, or it's coming here instead of going to our family member's house, and we've been really stressed about that and whether or not we'll get it in time. So I think it's a good way, and it's a great way to kind of double check. So if you order from Amazon and you're like, okay, I wanted to send it here, did I? Yes, I did. Or if you didn't, you can be like, okay, now I can change it. So that's kind of the whole thing here. And so we have different size boxes, so you can kind of organize this set of information at any way. You can also put whether or not you've wrapped it and that type of thing. So these boxes, these lovely presents, are just a way to kind of keep track of where your presents are going. And this spread, I'm just going to try and give you guys multiple ways to keep track. So we're also going to put whether or not this one includes a card and that type of thing. So yeah, that's how we're going to kind of do this whole spread. I think it's going to be really freaking adorable. Giving me Polar Express vibes and that type of thing. So I hope you guys like this one as much as I do. And if you want, you can use a lighter gray for the conveyor belt. I realize you can't really tell the difference between the two colors up here. It works either way, so it is entirely up to you. Where did I put this? Okay. Okay. Speaking of the Polar Express, I got fun stories for you guys. So, when I was younger, I think it was my dad was mostly in charge of this, I think. But I remember every year I was in dance, so I would always have my Christmas performance and do all those things. But then always around when I would have my dance recitals and stuff, there would also be this weird event that my dad put on at a train station. I say it's weird because, I don't know, it was weird to me at the time. But it was a part of what we did every Christmas. And he'd have people do a reading, kind of like a dinner theater, but they were just kind of reading the script out loud and talking to you of the script of the Polar Express. So we had all the characters and they'd come and go. Oh, that's fine. We made a mistake, but we'll be okay. So he'd have all the characters there and that type of thing. And they just kind of read through the script and very voice act. Yeah, it was weird because I was very small and I don't know how to describe this. It was Breakfast with Santa. Because as they're going through the Polar Express script, when Santa comes in, he does actually, I think he would always come in at that time and he would actually, give out bells from his sack while you're having breakfast food and hot chocolate, and they'd serve your hot chocolate while you're having. So it's kind of like a weird dinner theater thing. So it was really fun. It was very important in my childhood. I have great memories of doing it and that type of thing. And it would also, like, the rehearsals would also always fall on the same time as when I would have dance rehearsals. So, like, we'd be at the station, like the train station, while my dad was preparing this dinner theater, and then I'd like rush to dance rehearsal or my performance, and then we'd come back and straight to the station and that type of thing. It was crazy. But they always overlapped, and I found that kind of funny. So that was really cool and that type of thing. I remember that growing up. It was a very magical thing. And my dad is quite good at producing some Christmas magic, if I do say so myself. There's a lot of Christmas magic memories, besides the Polar Express breakfast and stuff, where you kind of got to have breakfast with Santa and he'd come in and that type of thing. I remember always watching Polar Express because it was one of his favorites, and when I watched it as an adult, and someone who's majored in English and like kind of gone very into depth in how to like analyze things, and it's been interesting to rewatch that Christmas movie again. I highly suggest rewatching Polar Express as an adult. By the way, I'm using some more highlighters now. I got the soft marking pen from Daiso, the mild liner, and then I got 2 crazy art markers. So these are the markers I switched to. Anyway, continuing on. Watching Polar Express as an adult. Definitely should do that. Lots of Christmas movies you should rewatch all the time. So there's that Polar Express memory. Very common movie I would watch with my family growing up. And it held a lot of memories. Another crazy thing my dad has done for the holidays was it was like a ward church party, and my dad was in charge of it, and he wanted to do Christmas morning, and he was obsessed with the song I Saw 3 Ships Come Sailing In. There's a specific version that he used, I think, so if you have that joke head, feel free to pop that in the chat, because it's a great Christmas song for people to listen to. But it was I Saw 3 Ships Come Sailing In, and so going with that theme, he had to have 3 ships come sailing in. Not actual ships, but he got out this he got these wagons and he built like small ship frames and gave them sails and all that jazz. And then he had people like roll them in, and in each ship was a gift. So you got 3 ships, 3 gifts for all the people at the party. And it was breakfast, so like there was all this breakfast food because it was supposed to be like Christmas morning. So you get presents on Christmas morning, so that's why I had this Saw 3 Ships Come Sailing In. Everybody's in their pajamas, breakfast food, delicious. He put the song in the chat if you guys want to hear the exact version. Thank you so much. So he did all that. It was crazy. It was amazing. It was magical. I am his like party planning assistant. So at the time when he did it, he put me on gift duty, and what that meant is that I was his main elf. One version by the Piano Guys. Okay, that's the version he put in the chat. So I was my dad's head elf at this party, and we did have other kind of kids, teenagers acting as the elves. My dad's elves. And so essentially our jobs was to kind of hand out the gifts and also like make sure kids are happy, bring them things, clear tables, and kind of be that Christmas morning magic and provide that. And so what I really liked about that is I had so much fun kind of acting as elf, but I did have to like work really hard because the gifts it was a small candle and then it was a snow globe tree ornament thingy. And I had to make those, which meant like taking a very small Christmas tree, shoving it into an ornament, and getting it to like stick at the bottom, and then adding snow. So it's like a cute little snow globe and that type of thing. It took hours, but we did it. And then we also had the small tea lights as another gift. And and the tea lights we had to light them all before we gave out. Yeah, I made like 200 snow globes. It was a wild time. I did make 200 snow globes. That was a long day. And then I think the last gift was like gold chocolate coins. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember exactly, but as the ships came in on Christmas morning and they were all timed to the music, we had to then the elves went and handed all the gifts out to the children and stuff, and everybody there, and it was great and it was magical, and of course there was Santa and that type of thing. But yeah, it was crazy. It was magical. It was amazing in every way possible. So, if you need crazy Christmas ideas, Christmas party ideas, I got you. My dad's got you as well. I'm gonna erase some pencil marks actually. We're gonna make this one extra long. But yeah. And then one Christmas that was also very magical for me growing up. And I really like this idea, and I kind of want to do it with my kids one day, is my dad. So we went to bed on Christmas Eve. We had our tree up, we had the presents for the family members in there, and we were young, so we're like, okay, when's Santa gonna show up, and that type of thing. And so we went upstairs, we went to bed, that type of thing. We get up, my parents make us wait at the top of the stairs, and then he has us all run down, and we go to our living room where the tree we set up is, and there's nothing new about it. Our stockings are missing, and I'm devastated as a child. I'm Santa didn't come. What did I do wrong? And I was so sad. My heart broke at that moment. I was like, no, not Christmas. And I was really sad. It also smelled, weird thing with that memory, it smelled very strongly of peanut butter. Don't know why, but it did. So I'm sitting there devastated. And I'm like, what happened to Christmas? And then I turn around to look for the stockings, and because our stairs went down into our front room, and then we had our living room and our TV in a different room kind of behind the stairs. As I turned to look at our stockings, or where they would be, and I saw this other tree in our living room, a living tree, and it was it had its own ornaments, it was decorated with snacks, there was a bike next to it, it was going to be my bike. I was so excited. And there were all these presents under it, and I was like, that was a very magical Christmas morning, where my dad just kind of in the middle of the night, got a tree, got presents, he had, he couldn't have hid that tree, anywhere but, the garage, and, even then, we go in the garage, we go in the backyard, we would have seen it, so he had to, get it that night. I still don't know exactly how he did it, but it was crazy. It was a crazy Christmas morning, because, it was a real tree, it wasn't a fake one, and that type of thing, and he had, brought it, and all that stuff, and in the tree, the way it was decorated, there was a note from Santa, and it said, I brought you some snacks from around the world, and that's what was in the tree, were a bunch of different snacks from around the world that were some of the gifts we got. It was a very, very magical Christmas, and I really enjoyed it, because it was the year that I was, questioning, okay, it was the year where I was do I still believe in Santa? Do I not? And it was the year that kind of reignited my belief in Santa. And it was great. It was amazing. And it's a great way if you need a gift idea or something. If you need an idea for spreading Christmas joy, get snacks from around the world for people. That is a great idea. But that was a very magical Christmas for me. And I remember it very well. I also remember things my parents did for me growing up is I'd had my own Christmas tree in my room, and sometimes Santa would put gifts under there, like small ones, and I would open them when I first woke up in the morning. It was a great way to like kind of distract me from waking up my parents too early. So 10 out of 10 on them for finding a way around that. And then I would leave letters for Santa as well. And this one's funny. I think this is a funny story. So, I'm a religious person. I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or I'm a Mormon. And when I was like young and crazy, I was like, I'm gonna convert Santa. And so I left him a letter, like telling him like on my desk about the church and stuff, and I left him a Book of Mormon and that type of thing. And I'm like, this is a great book. Here's a gift for you, Santa. You should totally read it. Because, I was a crazy child. I don't remember exactly if the book got taken or not, but I thought I had a good time. I think it was a good idea when I was young. And I think if you want to you can use my stories to make other people's Christmases magical if those are things you need to do. By the way, what markers did I use? Okay. The marker I did use on this row, it is the A&R dual tip pen, so I use that there. Very cute. And then I have these. I don't know their brand, like if they have a very specific brand, but I know I got them at Muji's. They're kind of like, they're not the best dual tip, but they're still cute and I like them. And then these are Jen Crafts paint, like kind of watercolor tip pens. They're okay. They're kind of difficult to use. We'll see if I actually use them. But yeah, those are just the markers I'm using for you guys, if you care to know. I'm trying to make sure I use a variety of markers and materials, just so that, because I do have a lot, and I want to make sure that I'm using up everything and giving everything a chance. I do go to my King Art brush pens the most because they're kind of my favorite. Still don't know how I feel about Tombow yet, but we'll see. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I heard a knock at our door and I was concerned. Anyway. But yeah, I'm trying to make sure I give all my markers the chance to be used, and so I can make sure I use them all up and don't just keep killing my favorite ones. And so if my markers are organized, they're in one of those over the door shoe holders that have all the pockets for your shoes. And so I use mine to, sorry, 1 sec. Okay. I use mine to kind of hold all my markers and stuff, and they're in rainbow order. So all the reds and greens are together and that type of thing. And I've quite enjoyed, like, it's a great way so that I can, like, if I'm making a color palette, I can see all my options and I can test them out and that type of thing. So I've quite enjoyed that. Can you hold my pencil? No. No, he doesn't balance things on him. How sad. But yeah, because then I can kind of look through and be like, okay, I want this many shades and that type of thing. So I've quite enjoyed the setup I have. There are some markers that aren't mixed in yet. For example, because I use so, like, my most common colors that I will use and need are blacks and grays and silvers and whites and stuff. So I have those in a separate like container on my stationery cart, and then I also have my purples in a separate cart because purple is my favorite color, and so I want to have them all in view, available to me. So that's kind of how my markers are set up. It's a great way to kind of see all my options and find all the colors. And then I also, if you've seen on my reels, or I showed them last week on stream, I got a new set of dual tip brush pens. Give me a hot second. I will be right back. I need to attend. So sorry about that. There was someone knocking on our neighbor's door, and I need to see if I need to get it. So that was that. That was. What was I talking about before I had to dip? I don't know. We're gonna actually go there. Oh yeah, my markers. My King Art set that I got the other day, those aren't mixed in yet because I want to make sure I use my old ones up first. And I also want to make sure that like use my old ones up first, but then like because they're numbered and they feel very special, I want to keep them in their box. And there's so many that I don't really have room for them yet. Like I have the more like my greens and blues are the ones that have the most like different markers, and I feel like those are very typical colors that get filled up. So like if you get a marker set, there's going to be more blues and greens than like any other color usually. So I want to use up more colors before I actually add more to it. So, and I've realized that I haven't used this washi tape too much, and I want to we'll make this row just washi tape boxes. So that's what we'll do. I've been super excited with all the stationery I received for my birthday, and then if I get stationery for Christmas, I'm excited about that as well. But I'm also like, I do need to start making sure I use up what I have, because I'm running out of space for stationery, and I'm not really in a position, like, it's not like I'm running out of space and it's like, oh, just buy a new cart, desk, whatever container. I have a very small apartment, so I don't really have room to add more furniture or storage pieces, as much as I love storage pieces, because I'm a weirdo like that. So I just kind of need to get more in the habit of it. And I've been kind of like, as you scroll through Instagram, sometimes you find those people who have like, oh, here's my stationery collection, and they have bookshelves that are just filled to the brim with every single Happy Planner sticker pack like ever created, and they can't help buy more. Or they have like every single Archer and Olive notebook, or like almost every single one, like all the cute ones and stuff. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think like, I'm so glad that you have such a beautiful collection and you have so many options at your hand. I do like having all the options available and like having a variety of stickers and markers to use. However, I don't want to have so much that it's like super duper excessive and I can't handle it. Like, I don't want to have too many options that it makes it impossible for me to choose or make something. And I also don't like, or things may go to waste. For example, like, I love the idea of having like a bunch of Happy Planner sticker packs, but I don't want to have so many that I will not have the capability to like use them all, and some of them may go to waste. I don't want that to happen. So, and like, or I have so many markers that I can't help but have some of them expire before I'm able to finish using them. So I think I do like having all the options, and I think it's great to have all the options, but I do want to make sure that I also pull random. Also, growing up, more memories of my dad. He always showed us the show Hoarders, Buried Alive. He always made us watch it so we would never become hoarders. So I do intend to not become a hoarder for him. And yeah, so I don't plan on becoming a hoarder and that type of thing. I will collect my stationery, but I also plan to use it, give it a purpose, make sure everything gets used to the fullest, and no more just collecting stationery for the sake of it and that type of thing in notebooks. So, okay, we're almost done with this lovely gift list. We're going to fill it in and stuff. Yeah. And I have found, especially with living in a smaller apartment, that my mood can be highly affected by the space I am in. So when my house is messier, I am in a worse mood. And when my house is cleaner, I'm in like a better mood. I feel like I can do things and I feel more calm. But if my house is messy, I feel like I can't do anything until the mess is gone. So I have been a little, I want to make sure that I keep my house clean, as small as it is, and as much as I have, I want to make sure that everything has a place, everything has a home, and I don't overwhelm it. And which has also transferred into um, what is it? Making sure that if I get a gift or I buy something for my house, it has a place to go, a purpose to fulfill, or a use. So like, I really like getting stationery because I know I'm going to use it to create adorable freaking spreads. Um, so I want to make sure that I am actually giving things homes and purposes. Like I did this for when I did my bucket list challenge for the fall season. One of the items on that list was to decorate my house, and I made sure that when I bought my decorations, they had a home, they had a place, I knew where they were going to go, I knew where they were going to hang, whatever. They had a place before I bought them, so that I knew exactly what I needed, exactly what I wanted to decorate my home, and that type of thing. And that type of thing. So that has been something I've been trying to do, especially with a small apartment. And I think it's gonna, of course, there's still things I'm like, I like books, I like gathering books, I like having all my favorite books on hand so I can read them when I want. So those will probably be an issue for a while and that type of thing. But there are some things I'm becoming more picky about, so I don't take up too much space in my house. Okay. We're going to fill in like a couple more boxes. I'm not going to fill in all of them because I don't want to. I'm a little lazy. Okay. So this box, it says family wrapped game dollar store. So this is, I guess, more of a party idea that you guys can use. A gift list type thingy. Maybe you are throwing parties and you do need to make a gift list or something to give your guests and that type of thing, or a card list to give them. So this game is essentially, you're going to need a lot of plastic wrap and your wrapping paper. So you go to the dollar store or somewhere cheap and you just buy a bunch of really cheap candies, gifts, whatever. And then you take your plastic wrap and you start putting them in a ball, and you kind of like wrap it up a little bit, put in a gift, wrap it up more with the plastic wrap, put in a gift. And you keep doing this until you got like a huge freaking ball. And then essentially at the party is you take turns unwrapping it in like a timed manner. So you give it to one person, and so like say you're in a circle, first person starts unwrapping, and then someone says switch. And so they hand it to the next person and they get to start unwrapping it. And if a gift falls out, it's all yours and that type of thing. And so the whole thing is to just kind of keep going and unwrapping it as fast as you can, see if how many gifts you can get. So of course you kind of want to have enough gifts in the thing for double the party guests, or triple, depending on what your budget is. But I think it's a great party game, way to like give out small gifts to your guests without going too far. And then we're also going to have a box that says White Elephant. And a great way to kind of go with White Elephant is I'm also putting gift ideas on this for you guys, so it's a gift list and a gift idea thing. For White Elephant, you can do like old books or knickknacks you have in your house you don't use. Like if there's a weird if you have like a weird elephant hanging out on your shelf, but you don't really like it and it doesn't fit your decor anymore, use it for white elephant. That really works. Or old books that you don't want anymore, candy, or you can go thrifting and find some cute knickknacks there to kind of give out for white elephant. And then another one is you could give out some baked goodies. And I think especially with this is like if you are giving it to some of your friends, make sure you know their allergies in advance so you can make them their own special treat just as good. If you do have gluten-free friends, I have found that almond flour is a really good substitute for most things. My mom and my sister-in-law and my brother are all gluten-free, and so when they visit and I wanted to make chicken and dumpling soup, I was able to just get some almond flour and that type of thing to switch in. So make sure you got your friends' allergies considered when you are delivering them goodies. And if you don't know them, it's fine to ask or like have different options available. So if you do go to their house and they're like, oh, we would love to have these cookies, but we're lactose intolerant, you have lactose intolerant goods ready. Give everybody the gift of goodies this holiday season, because everybody deserves a very good cookie during Christmas. Or another one is this one I just popped on here. If you are, I know my church does it, but it's something you could do. So if you know someone who's like having a baby soon this holiday season, it'd be great to bring them a meal so that they don't have to worry about cooking, offer to clean their house. That's some service ideas you can do, and like maybe throw in a card or something. But making them a meal is a great way to help people this holiday season. So these are my two lovely spreads for today's stream. I had so much fun making them. I really love these cute little sugar plum cards. I'm really obsessed with them. I love small things. I'm really short, and a common joke my friends make are things that are Lydia sized. So these are Lydia sized cards. They're really freaking cute. I loved making them. If you guys want a tutorial, like an actual like in-depth tutorial of how I make them, please let me know. Either like message me here or you can message me on Instagram of how I made them and I can make sure I post that. And then I really like this kind of Polar Express, you're at the North Pole, seeing all the gifts go into Santa's thing. And so, yeah, these are some cute spread ideas. Use them how you need to. If you just need the themes, great. If you need to kind of keep a list of who gives you cards or who gives you presents, use these. Just use them how you need to. It's a great way to stay organized this holiday season, especially with everything going on, and especially if you kind of have those like people you weren't planning on giving gifts to and suddenly they come to your door with a plate of cookies. You can kind of, using these spreads is a great way to kind of make sure you have backups and stuff. So I hope you guys like these spreads. We're gonna go right over here into chatting mode as I switcheroo into journaling mode and that type of thing. While I'm chatting, please be sure to like check out my Instagram, follow me there. I have so many Christmas things planned for this month. They're really cute. If you don't celebrate Christmas, that's totally fine. You can use these as birthday spreads, pen pal spreads, or you can kind of use them more towards the holiday you do celebrate, like Hanukkah and that type of thing. I'm not well versed in those holidays, so that is why I'm not really making spreads towards them, because I don't want to make it wrong or make wrong assumptions. But feel free to take my ideas and use them to how you need it. So, okay. For today's journaling prompt time. So, first things first, you guys do need the prompt list as a whole, because just in case you don't like today's prompt, you can, oh golly, what's the word? You can pick a prompt of your own or kind of write however you want. I do encourage journaling on this channel a lot because it's a great way to get to know yourself and kind of make your own personal history. So, let's go over here. We got my little writing prompt jar. I'm very excited to use them. Once I use all of these, then I'll put in a request for more. If you do have writing prompt ideas or ones you want me to do, you can drop it in the comments now or send it to my thing. Yeah, okay. This one, we got a green one. So, this one, this prompt, I'm quite excited. So, prompt 3 people in your life you are grateful for. So, you can kind of just make this a list. It doesn't have to be a big thing. You can kind of go into detail about why you're grateful for them and that type of thing. We're going to hop over here. It's still a little messy, chaotic, but here's my journal, my lovely, lovely journal. I haven't done any December spreads yet, and I haven't really journaled as much as I should, but I will try to get back into the habit of sorts. So we're going to be journaling. I have this. I got it at Barnes & Noble. It was on sale. It was great. But I am going to make very Christmas heavy stuff. So we got my cute little Christmas stickers I'm going to use, and I'm going to use the red and greens from today's stream as well. So I'm going to stop talking. I hope you guys journal along with me, and I'll talk to you guys in 10-ish minutes once I'm done here. Okay, if you guys are still journaling, feel free to keep going. I'm just going to quickly talk about my spread and then wrap up stream. So, I went with the prompt 3 people in life you're grateful for. I did one very conventional one, which is my husband. I know he's my soulmate and he brings me so much joy and he makes me so happy and I'm always grateful for everything he does. And then this next one is just kind of my coworkers as a whole. Put them in a group. My husband's looking at me with a cute face. He is my soulmate and I love him a lot. Okay, second one, it was kind of just a group of people. So it is my coworkers. I really like going to work, which is crazy to say, but I always feel a lot of joy there. It's always a good time. I mean, yeah, we have our bad days and stuff, but it's my favorite place to go cool down, and it is my crew that I work with that really makes it, and my boss. And then the last one, my sister-in-law, Jenna. She is so sweet and amazing. Her name is a little smudged. I will fix that. But she's a really good, like, I love hanging out with her. I feel like we have a lot in common. And whenever we have family in town, it's always great because like she's someone I can kind of team up with to make sure everything's taken care of and plan things with. So I really appreciate that about her. So that's my little spread. I kind of did the person's name in like along with the gift boxes. I put some Christmas lights in. Christmas lights are the easiest Christmas doodle ever. Besides boxes, you know. Yeah, the more you think about it, a lot of Christmas doodles are really easy. 10 out of 10. Okay. That is going to be it for today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun making these spreads. I love them so much. Be on the lookout on my Instagram for more bullet journaling content. There's going to be a week that's like dedicated just to Christmas stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I think my plan is kind of like this next week is going to kind of just be like anything that I have prepared, some fun content I've already made. And then the week after that is going to be 2023 setup, so goals journals and stuff like that. And then I will have a very week dedicated to Christmas, and then I'll kind of have a week dedicated the week after Christmas to kind of dedicate to January and other 2023 setups. So be on the lookout for that. I have so many fun Christmas spreads to show you guys and create. And then next Saturday at stream, we'll be at 2 p.m. as usual. And we'll be working on our 2023 yearly journal, so if you guys need inspiration or ideas for that, be sure to check that out. But I will be posting more of stuff on Instagram and stuff, so. But you guys get the inside scoop here on stream. I show you the full thing. I don't just show you a little bit, so I show you a bit more on here and that type of thing, so. Also, be on the lookout for my Instagram. I'll be putting up a poll for this guy's name. Please have good ideas. I will accept any and all. Please, we must give him a name. I'm so excited. Okay, that's going to be it, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye!